Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So for today, I'm still playing off a little bit of yesterday's reading. So yesterday's reading was all about like Joan of Arc energy coming in. And I think it was at the end of it, I said, I don't feel like that this message has been wrapped up. I feel like that there's still more to it. And so today I kind of got a little bit more insights because about when I was making the video, when I was channeling. So when you channel, you kind of like go to a different part of like your consciousness and you're in the background and you kind of bring in spirit and you like let them use you, work through you. So a lot of the times they'll give you like signs, symbols, textures, and for you to interpret, and then you can kind of put that message together. That's one way. And then another way is like you just kind of let them flow through you. So here I am in that reading. I was doing channeling at one part and I kind of went into the back. And as I was like doing the reading, there's like the consciousness of me in the back being like, what the fuck am I even talking about? Because they did not make sense to me. And I get it now. But there's still like things for me to learn. And I kept saying, like, I feel out of depth out of this. I feel like this is just something I don't understand. So I've had a little bit of aha moments this morning. I kind of woke up feeling angsty, feeling like, don't mess with me. And I don't know why, because I'm like, everything's pretty great. But Spirit lately has been telling me to like distance from some people. That there was some people, their energy didn't match what they were saying and how they felt. It was a very unauthentic, like you could just tell. I guess not everyone could tell. I feel like these people are very good at putting on that fake happy. And but yeah, Spirit's like, don't trust these people. Behind the scenes, you don't know what they're talking about. And I didn't know who they were really talking about, because I was like, yeah, I've got like people around me that are nice, right? But then all of a sudden, one day, these people's energy just shift. And I was like, weird. And then I was like, what did I feel? I felt so much FU energy being like thrown at me from them. They never said anything, but I can feel it. And I was just like, that's really weird. Like, why did everything change in one day? But it makes sense that Spirit before was like, pay attention to these people. These people are users. They only are nice to you when you are giving of yourself, when you're a very kind, giving person. But when you stand up for yourself, they don't like it. They don't like you when you stand up for yourself. And so in the reading, there was one part where I was like doing the message and they showed it. It was like, they always showed you understanding their point of view. And so all the times it's like, you know that you have something to stand up for. So the whole reading yesterday was like Joan of Arc energy, having visions, knowing when to speak up. She had her sword of truth. And truth is subjective, it said, but in this case, you're standing up for many people. You're not just standing there and just wanting to be like the king of the castle or whatever, right? You don't want people to look up to you in like authority, like I'm the boss, that's why. Even though you don't really have a true position there, it's just kind of like, I'm almost seeing like a king become a king just because there's been so much wars and people fired or passed away, and it's like that position was now laid upon you. Like a baby getting to be king or queen. And so there they are with, it's almost like Game of Thrones, like Joffrey energy. Like I don't give a crap about that energy. I don't respect that. Just because you were given it doesn't mean anything. But I like a two-way conversation. And so I did find I was having problems communicating. And I know from experience that when I speak up and I have something that I want to speak up about, I know to be a little bit humble, because not everything is worth your time and attention and energy, right? You don't have to bring up every inconvenience and like, right, that's just a constant complainer. But when I say something and I bring it to something, I say, hey, I feel called to share this, right? Because it's like, Spirit saying share your truth. If you are feeling guided and you know that this is going to help benefit many, you have to do it. But in it, it's like people aren't going to see your point of view. They don't care how you think. And so that was in yesterday's reading. And then today I had this aha moment. There was a situation where, and I brought it up to this thing to people's attention, and they were like, oh, that's just how they are. Like, that's not what they mean. That's just how they are. And at the time I was like, oh, okay. Like, there's still this big ass problem. There's this fire that needs to be put out, but I'm supposed to just let it go because, well, that's just how they are. And I don't accept that, because there's still a fire. Like, people are burning. And then today I was like, they never even tried to see my perspective, and my perspective was trying to help somebody. And I feel like it was a divine urgent standing up in that moment, claiming energy. I'm not trying to attack and belittle and do those kind of things, but as that reading said, they'll never see your point of view. And so they're like, oh, well, that's just how they are. Like, we're not going to fix it because that's just who they are. And so I had this aha moment today, was like, well, that's just how I am. So why do I always dim to fit this person who kind of has this role that they should be caring about the masses. They should be caring about that person's perspective. Fix it now before they leave. But they cared more about how everyone viewed them. It was almost like it was an egotistical ego blow for them. It just was like, how dare this girl come here and tell me that I handled things wrong. And they did. So I saw that I stood up with my sword of truth, and I found that after I did that, that's when all the energy shifted. It shifted between many people. And then that's what, because Spirit even told me before that, was like, distance yourself from these people. Like, they've got masks. And so I don't care how you are in society. I guess, we try to like put on that brave face and things like that. But they showed that all these people, they want that star, like, I've made it in life energy. Look at me, be like me, want to be like me. It's almost like they come to me for answers. But so in that moment, I wasn't coming to them for answers. It was not what they wanted to hear. And so it caused a lot of problems and conflict and chaos after. And so it's been it's been a while. It's been a long time for that. And I only had that insight today because I'm like, I just don't feel like yesterday's message wrapped up. I feel like there's more I'm supposed to share. And that was like my little insights this morning. And I was like, damn, I felt that call to help others, speak about the sword of truth. Do you have any instances like that? Do you ever have a moment where you stood up for yourself? And I don't feel like you stand up for yourself. You stand up for many people. You stand up for people outside of yourself. And by doing so, you got told that you were wrong and that you needed to change. You need to step down. You need to unlevel yourself. And then it's like every time after that, because interactions after that have been shitty, right? They'll just throw negative energy my way. And I don't take it because I'm an energy worker, right? And it's like, I don't know. It's like they want me to be in this tailspin energy, but I just refuse to go into it. So it's like I keep standing in my power. And yeah, I had that aha moment that I was like, because I kept feeling like, was I wrong for all that? Because I felt very divinely guided to speak up. And I'm getting treated shitty because of it. But I know at my core that Spirit needed that one person to have someone on their side. So, have you ever had a thing where you stood up for someone, they made you feel bad or wrong for it, and then all of a sudden, like way down the road, you have this aha moment that's like, they are who they are, but you are who you are. And why can't they listen to you? You can understand their point of view, their perspective. You can see that side, but they didn't even try to see your side. I just feel like that's a little bit of the energy that wants to come through. And so I grabbed some cards, and the first ones that wanted to come out were Sacred Destiny with Sacred Destiny Oracle with Past Life and Life Purpose. So I've already shaken up the, what's that one? Life Purpose. Did I cut myself? I cut myself. What did I cut myself on? I don't know. Random. Okay, so I did pull out the Life Purpose, and this one, and all these. 1, 2, 3. And 2 of these. 1. Hee hee. All right. So here, we're just going to build it. I just put cards on top of cards on top of cards, and I didn't really see all of them. So let's just unpack it. That's what I feel. I feel like stuff has been shoved down, and even like, as it said, you only speak up when you know that you have to speak up. But I'm seeing someone who, when they spoke up, you know, it's almost like, so my story's done. So we're tapping into collective now. But it's almost like as I tap into this, I'm getting like a sign that's like, we're a family. We have an open door policy. Anything you want to talk about, you can come to us. Like HR. And it's like a lie. Because when you actually go and you actually do share things, I'm seeing it used against you, or, you know, crumbling things. But what I actually see from that, I see that. It's almost like you go to HR, it actually created a bigger problem. But now I'm seeing you think it's a problem. They think that that they're winning too. Not that it's winning, but it's just like, aha, I hurt them right? How dare they make me look like a fool? And so all these jabs and these shots and the energy kind of thing. But I'm seeing you think that things are void and like barren. But I see on a really strong, solid foundation. I actually see a lot under, right? We always say 5D manifests to the 3D. I'm seeing like in the underworld, I'm seeing so much depth, so much rooting. I see the tree. Oh, that's. So we have truth with release. And I thought, how interesting that both of these are trees. And so, yeah, once I said that underground and that roots, that's what I was like, ooh, there's some trees. So I feel like no matter what you throw at someone, you could throw the most toxic energy, the most, I hate you, I hope you suffer, I hope something, but you're just standing there like, I already stand for truth. And I'm really anchored and I'm really guided. And so what I feel like with this release is just let go of all that energy that just keeps coming your way. Because if you have stood up, as I said, I didn't really feel like it was the dark feminine yesterday. I felt like it was like Joan of Arc. A little bit of like Harriet Tubman energy kind of like came through. My eye is bugging me. And it was like those who kind of have like visions to have a higher purpose to help more people. They had this sort of truth. So when I saw truth come out, I was like, that is freaking perfect. So what needs to be released? Well, when you speak up and you're gonna let others know on a little bit of areas where energetically there's weak links, you kind of like, maybe your words like poke a little bit and they're like, ooh, like there's a wound there. But all that does is tell that person that there's like healing need to be done. And so it's for them to learn to follow through and do their own healing journey. It takes a lot to be able to look at yourself and be like, maybe I was wrong in that instance. And that's what I keep seeing collective do. Like, was I wrong in that? Did I this? I see you apologize. I see you do everything. And it's just like, you already let it go. But I feel like those people, it's still festering and it's still growing. And it's still like, now it's changed and evolved. It's like a new strand of toxic poison for them. And they want that to come to you. So that's why it's like, just keep letting go. Releasing all that. And I also feel like some of that releasing is, you've been, as it said, you pick and choose when to speak up, because you just don't want to be that complainer that every day, like, I feel like that there's tons of things around you that you just know could be better, should be better, and it's like shoving it down, waiting for your moment, because at that HR, you kind of, in the past, it didn't work out that way. And so it's like the truth, if it's real divinely guided truth, it must come up. It must come up and out, because I feel like when it's in you, it stops you from growing. And yeah, you might have to walk alone, because that's what I see. I see that person being like, oh, you're dead to me. And it's like, well, if you can't look in the mirror and do a little bit of reflection, if you can't hold your emotional regulation and just have a conversation, because that's like what I see is like, you try to talk to them and it's like instant defense. It's like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. But I have a ridiculously smart collective, and of course you know what you're talking about, and I know what I'm talking about, even though if I don't want to let people know that I know more. And I feel like that's a lot of like people, they just observe. That's how you get most of your energy or information. Just observe the energy. Energy will not lie. People will lie. Their masks and their faces will lie. Words will come out of their mouth as lies, but the energy won't lie. And so the next layer here, are they all in reverse? Yeah, monster, they're all in reverse here. So we have karmic relationship with male and female energy and the arts. So what I'm getting from this is somebody is attached in a karmic relationship. Especially when it comes to female and male dynamics. This could be like really old school, where it's like women are in the kitchen, women cook, and the men go out and they go make the money and they bring home the bacon. And the wife is to fry it up, traditional, whatever it is. But relationships, when it comes to karmic, it could be anything, right? If we find ourselves just stuck in patterns, because again, as I said, they didn't want to look in the mirror. And so the more and more you don't want to look at yourself and realize that there is little things within you, energetic holes that do need fixing or, blocking. There's a little leak. It's like, patch it up. We find ourselves in these karmic relationships. And so what I'm getting with the arts, what I really got was when I first saw the karmic relationship in the male and masculine dynamic, whatever this is, right? Energy is just energy. Feminine energy is more loving and caring. Masculine is more dominating, kind of, but it's like a go-getter. Yeah. But we have both of those energies within us. And so what I'm seeing though is like, I see a traditional person where they're like, this is how things are, right? You stay at home, have babies, whatever. And then I almost see like in this case, we'll say like a feminine, not acting like how a feminine should act. They're out there doing what men do normally, right? It's like not listening to this one person's societal roles. And they're like, and that's not how you should express yourself, right? Art's artistic. Like, why are you out here? I almost see like a female bodybuilder. And it's like, why are you in the gym trying to get all these gains and stuff? Like, you should be sleek and slender and like demure, and you shouldn't have a backbone, let alone all this muscle to carry your own weight. And that's what I hear. And so it's almost like I'm seeing an irked energy that's like, okay, what I really see is like, why can you do what I can do? And I don't quite get that. But how could I get it? Like, I'm not in a toxic karmic relationship. So let me just see what they're trying to show. They're stuck in the karmic pattern, karmic relationship, because they keep wanting people to rely on them. But I see this other. So it's either like, you know, like a feminine who's like loving and nurturing, and it's like they do everything for the male, but then they'll meet like a guy who does the same things as them, and they're like, well, I can cook and clean for myself and do all these things. So like what else can we do? Like, it's like, whatever I see, it's just like it's almost like I want to do everything for that person, so they're dependent on me. I want to be the leader, the boss, the something. And I see equals. I see people like of energetic equality. And then being like, well, I don't want to rely on you. I rely on myself, and you can rely on yourself. And why don't we create something new? But this one person's just like, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. So what do we have on the next layer? Okay, so we got leaving or travel. I'm hearing that song, Leaving on a Jet Plane. Okay, they say that this doesn't go with that this next layer is a new part. So we'll have to read these ones first. So we have speaker in reverse. With counseling in reverse. Then we have author with protected and reverse. And so what I find interesting about these three cards, speaker, counseling, author, they're all about sharing, right? Releasing your truth. When you go into a counselor, right, you have to say things that you don't want to say. Those things that you've really shoved down. When you're an author, you take all your inspirations and you put them down on pages. And with speaker in reverse, it's like, why are you talking? you shouldn't be telling me what to do. I already know what to do. And I'm getting that there's just not enough information, that we need to let whatever's trapped down within to come up and out, because not everybody has all the information. They see themselves, I'm seeing them look in the mirror through rose-colored glasses. And I love my rose-colored glasses, I do. But I'm seeing this person look in the mirror without them and seeing something that scares them. They don't like it. And so they put on these rose-colored glasses, and it's almost like, I'm perfect, I don't need to change. But it's like allowing these toxic old behaviors and being like, well, that's just my belief. That's just my personality. That's just who I am. And it's time to leave that behind. All that baggage can't come forward. And so that's what I see. I see like all of these cards being like, let it up, let it out. So that everyone can at least just know the real truth that's going on in this situation. Because I'm hearing a lot of he said, she said type things. And lots of talking behind the scenes. But I feel like the one who has the real information, the power, they say the one who has the real power hasn't released it yet. And so I see this one energy, that one in the karmic one, where it's like masculine and feminine energy roles are a little bit outdated and ancient, traditional, that's the word. I see them struggling the most, because I feel like that this information is just going to come out, and like as this one is, it's like protected was in reverse. This information is going to shake, rattle, and roll, I hear, but that's just rock and roll. I also had the Citadel cards out from yesterday, and I thought, why not pull them? My throat has been bugging me. All right, so what do we have here? We have the orator with, it says, look at this. The orator with communication and confidence. It was in reverse. And then the next, oh my gosh, this is cool. And then the next one is storyteller. it says viewpoints and control with the Sailor card. And the Sailor says new influences and wanderlust. So now this wanderlust goes with this leaving. I keep seeing like leave the baggage. It's time to let go. And this new influences and wanderlust landed on release. So I feel like that there is something that needs to be said. Either someone needs to speak up, maybe you need to go talk to a counselor, or maybe you just need to write that book or whatever it is that you want. You can put it out into any means possible. But I feel like whatever is in you is so divinely touched by your truth from spirit. It comes from a very kind-hearted place. It may burn others when it comes out because they haven't checked their ego. And so, honestly, I don't give a crap about their ego. Let their egos crumble. Let it burn to the ground. As long as, like, the mass group of the collective, because that's what it kind of started off as in that story yesterday, was like, you're speaking up for many people. You care and love that so many people are being taken advantage of and having bad experiences, that you don't care that a select little elite group controls all the power and resources. And so, yeah. And so with the storyteller and the truth, now it's bringing it down to this author card. And so author says, you have a book inside you that wishes to be expressed. Make time to write it. Actually, you know what? For these life purpose cards, I didn't read any of them, so let's read all of them. But like life purpose to write a book. This one says your life purpose involves your skill of oration. No freaking way. Ah, man, Spirit's so cool. I don't use this word on the daily at all. So when I actually like pulled this card and I saw orator literally landed right above the speaker. And it says that oration, orator. I really feel like you're being called to speak up, to share your story and tell your truth. And so with this counseling card, it says you heal with kind words, wise advice, and an empathetic ear. So I feel like you are that empathetic person for the whole. And I feel like you took on a lot of energy for the comfort of this little group of ego. That's all I'm seeing. And so it's like you have this within you that still needs to come up. And because they haven't really dealt with their ego, it is going to rock their world. It's going to shake them and they're going to be pissed at you. Are they going to be pissed? More than likely. I always expect the worst case scenario. And then when things turn out less, I'm like, oh, that was quite easy. But maybe that's one of my toxic traits. But I find it kind of works out because I'm already prepared for the worst. So when the worst does happen, maybe I manifested it, but it doesn't sideswipe me as much. I like to see all viewpoints. And that's what that story said. It's like you could see other people's viewpoint, but do they care about your viewpoint? Will they even stop to even consider, what are you going through? Like, how do you feel? Why are you even taking time to bring this to attention? Like, you never complain about these things. And that's what I hear is like, I miss the old you when you didn't complain and you were so sweet and you were so nice. But it's like, I'm still that. You're still that. We're still that. So it said like, heal with kind words. I feel like something needs to come out and it's going to come out. And it's like, if you let it come out with kindness and compassion, you can still be strict to the point-ish, but it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I'm hearing actually in some cases that no matter what you say or how you say it, you could even put it on like a silver platter and like top it with ice cream and cherry on top and all these things, and they're still gonna look at you as if you're the toxic one. So don't let that stop you and scare you away from all three cards of the purpose deck are all about letting it out, sharing. And like, how is it even possible that we have like, this one's like, hey, you need to communicate your story and sail on to new influences. I feel like the more and more you keep the old in there, say it in the moment almost. Or maybe if the moment's not ideal, at least a little bit past the moment. Because I feel like new things are going to come and you still have the old in there. And it's like I can't really effectively communicate with this energy when this one mixes with the old. And so that's what I see is like, once you let the old out, there's all this space for new healing opportunity. As this says, you heal with kind words, wise advice, and an empathetic ear. Will you get an empathetic ear from them? I don't know, let's pull a card. Which deck can we use for that? We will use, which ones are these? Past life. Ooh, that's the perfect one. One past life, one purpose, and then we'll wrap it up. Because, you know what else I'm getting? Is like, whatever this dynamic is, you've known them in a past life. Oh shit. Okay. You know them in a past life, but in the past life, roles were reversed. So if you're the masculine in this life, you were probably the feminine in the last life. And if you're the feminine in this lifetime, you're probably masculine that time. And so it's almost like, that's what I'm hearing. It's like, you're supposed to like, this time you're supposed to be this way. Why are you embodying this other energy? Like, again, that feminine bodybuilder. It's like, no, you're supposed to be the feminine one this time, right? Because it's all these lessons. We keep running into people and we change sexes, we change classes, we change everything, races. We've been everything under the stars. And so that's what I'm seeing is like this time, it's like you were supposed to be this way. Why are you not this way? So they're kind of coming back into this lifetime as a lesson to heal through that. So maybe you have a karmic relationship with this person from past lifetimes. So I pulled a card, and what was it I was going to say? I don't remember my question. I said, will they like be receptive to it? And I pulled the farm card. And all I heard was horse's ass. Okay. They might not. They might think it's bullshit. But whatever. I'm sorry, I just feel like this is a little bit of immature energy. I find them funny. That pisses them off even more. Oh, all right. So I got horse's ass with miracle in reverse. So I don't know. I don't feel like this interaction when it comes up and out, as again, I say that they're a little bit in their ego and they kind of are stuck on how energies and roles and things like that are meant to be. And so I don't really get this whole counseling thing. I get like the counselor is like a card for the HR, and HR is like, yeah, you can come talk to me about anything. But really, HR, right? Their role, I'm sorry if that's your job, and I am mis talking about it. If you have any insights on this, like share your point of view. But a lot of the time, from my experience, HR it's really there just to help protect the company, right? They make it seem like they're there for like the workers and the workers' mental health and like making the workplace better for the workers. But it's really to save the company from like legal obligations and things like that for the workers. So I feel like obligation to the company first and then to the employees is kind of like the energy. So that's what I get from this. And it's like an empathetic ear. So I don't feel like you're going to get an empathetic ear. I think they're going to be like, this is horseshit. Just like a grumpy old man energy coming through. All right, old man. And I think the more you laugh at them, the more it's just going to piss them off because they want you to be upset. Like, why are you having a good time? Why are you not as upset as I am? and you're like, well, I already spoke my truth. I let the old out. Like, I healed from it. I was like, I stood up for like the collective all. I go to bed and sleep well because I heal. I transmute energy. I let Joan of Arc kind of sword that it's saying like, heal, sword of truth. I still have the old deck here, so I just want to show that card. Because maybe if you watched it, you're like, yeah, I remember that, because I was just yesterday. But here she is. And so in this one, she has this sword. And as I saw it, as I looked at this card, it was like almost like an animated one. And she like went in and took the sword. And I can't help but notice that my shirt is like how the sword comes. It was like a sword of truth though. She like held it up to the light. It was like Archangel Michael energy. And now that I said that, Archangel Michael energy, I'm being brought back to protected. And protected, look at him. He's holding his little hilt on his knife. I get Archangel Michael. And it says, you are safe and supported while you change your career. So maybe from this, because I heard, I'm leaving on a jet plane. Maybe there is a new career for you. Maybe your new career is as a public speaker, or maybe you want to look into becoming HR. Maybe because you have an empathetic ear to hear both sides of the stories. Because that's what I see in everything. At the beginning of this story said like you can see your point of view, but you can also see the other person's point of view. And I find like a lot of empaths can do that, right? They can put themselves into other people's situations and minds and like be open and take in that energy to understand more to life and the depths. But whatever this kind of back and forth is, I don't think they care. Like even in yesterday's reading, they said they won't look at your point of view because it takes away their little superiority, right? It was all talking about the king and how the king wanted to just shake all the taxes out of you. Give me all your taxes. I'm gonna link that video below. I felt, yeah. So, what else? I want to look at this miracle card and then, as I said, wrap it up. There's a double rainbow, and I remember saying in it, as you speak, you might feel like things are fading. So this one's like a very, very faded rainbow, and you might feel like you said something, right? Say it with kindness, say it, but speak your truth and stand up for yourself, even others. Don't be so self-absorbed, right? The collective good of all is the main concern. And so you might think like things are faded or crumbling or something like that. But as I said, in the background, it felt like your foundation was actually getting like more stable, more reliable. I feel like the more and more you talk, people are going to be like, I trust this person to tell me the truth and not just like backstab me and be two-faced and these things. So there's a way brighter something building by you sharing your divine truth, by you stepping into your not dark feminine energy, your empowered light worker energy. Joan, where'd you go? Did you go back? Oh no, I have too many cards. She did go back. All right. So I just want to read this last card and then finally wrap it up, even though I keep saying we'll wrap it up. So Joan of Arc, the warrior of light. It says, I have a steel-like faith in myself. The angels armor me with conviction. Okay, I feel called to... Dang it, my iPad's downstairs. All right, I'm not going to do that. Never mind, you don't even know, so I don't have to apologize. To sum this all up, truth needs to come out. You have things within you that you know that you've been wanting to speak up to, and I feel like you've spoken up in the past, and all it got you was negative energy thrown your way. I see that you see a bigger picture. I see you see all sides of stories, and you have more knowledge to share than you're giving people the benefit of doubt, it's like, I feel like you're sitting on a jackpot. I feel like you have this, like, I see a spring underneath, within. It's this constant stream of energy. It's a renewal. It's almost like I'm seeing fountain of youth. It's a spring renewal something, but it keeps you fresh. And what about this? Why are you talking? I thought we were wrapping it up. Okay, randomly I looked down at my table and I didn't pull this card, but it was on my table and it was standstill. And look at that, there's a spring in here. So now I'm tripping. Where did you even come from? But you want to know what? This standstill was actually in reverse. So that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this underground spring. So that's now showing, as I said, the roots very grounded, so deep into the underworld. And I said, I don't see dark feminine energy coming in this. I see badass, powerful, light worker, warrior energy coming in. And so I see this spring as like a constant renewal that feeds the tree, knowledge, information, life. And so I keep seeing you get more clear, more powerful, more protected. I see golden energy aura around you. And so yesterday I said, I saw rings and the rings didn't make sense to me. There was a gold ring that I kept seeing. And the only thing that I could see was like, here's an example, the golden halos above them. We didn't use that card, but that was a good reference. And so that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this eternal spring underground, like feed you and like protect you in this like bubble. And so there's that Archangel Michael powerful energy. I see you grounded as a tree. I see you thinking that things are falling. The leaves are falling off this tree. But the more and more that these leaves fall, the more and more it is able to like work on the roots and get even more grounded and more stable. And the more and more you do that, next season, you're ready for the next growth, right? As that said, as the sailor, which will go with this standstill in reverse. There's movement. It says new influences and wanderlust, because there's that energetic baggage. What happens when everything is flowing and you're back into this healthy relationship? You've done the counseling, you've learned empathy, you've learned to work with kindness, but you've learned to speak your truth, even though it might irk other people and have them throw horseshit energy your way. It doesn't matter because you've worked on these leaks, you've worked on everything, and so you're not losing your leaves, you're building an even firmer, solid foundation. And I feel like that this stream will probably come into the next reading or something, because it came so late at the end when we're trying to wrap it up. But I feel like that this stream is so important. I feel like it's vitality, it's life, it's something. But that only happens after you speak up and let go of everything that's meant to be let go of, so we can get that firm foundation first. And then there's this cool something coming. So we'll wrap it there. We'll leave it there. Have a good day. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.